Hi, it's Joy Foster, the founder of TechPixies and the host of the Sparkle and Thrive podcast. And today we're talking about a dream that was a dream and is now reality. Lois Lelland is here to tell us her story about how she turned her dream of having her first composed album her music that she composed herself out into the world. And so, Lois, thank you for being here. Now, you're a tech pixie. You've been in the tech pixie world for a while now. Do you remember what life was like when you joined and how you felt about getting your music out into the world and onto social media?
Yeah, sure. So, hello and lovely to be here. So I think I joined TechPixies last year about August time, and I had just about finished my debut EP in terms of mixing it and knowing that I wanted it out in the world, but not really knowing how to go about doing that and being super, super uncomfortable being on socials and being a bit scared and really that invisibility cloak was around me firmly. So that was really the beginning, trying to figure out how to be more visible.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, and so you came in initially into our social media program, then you did our Dream Builder program. So you've done both of those programs. So just for some context, and what changed for you in the time period from August to now? And what's happened as a result?
I guess lots of different things happened from that point to now. So if we start with my music is out in the world, I actually released it. So I have this product to kind of push out, and I'm very pleased about that. And the sort of the steps to get there came from the community, like being part of the Tech Pixies community, for sure, in terms of knowing how to use the tech, but also having the community backing. The confidence came with the action, and that action came with having people behind me and helping me rise up to that challenge and getting really clear on what my dream actually was and is, and what future dreams might be. So it's that thing of being pushed but being held. Is that like how we talk about it?
Well, and one of the things that I think, is really interesting for you, one of the shifts that you made was, going from not being paid to do something that you love to actually being able to generate income from doing something you love. That was a huge shift for you. So maybe explain to people, because I think this is true for a lot of people. They're doing something they love, but they can't figure out how to make it have a monetary value to them. And I know you came on the Money Mindset masterclass, and that had a big impact on you. Describe what it was like to have this amazing skill playing the piano and to love doing it, but then not be able to figure out how to make an income from that. And then the shifts you made and now what it's like for you.
Yeah, so if you go back to that money mindset calls, I think I maybe did two or three. In the first one, there was many tears. I think that was a really turning point, because it was like I know that it was like I know what I want to do, but I don't know how to monetize it. And so we picked apart what was maybe at the root of that, and I brain primed the making money and being worthy of money, and I'm sure that resonates with a lot of people. So I can't remember how long I did that brain prime for, but it was for a while. And
about 9 weeks is what we recommend. That
I did it for longer, for sure. So on that sort of subconscious level, something really shifted, and it wasn't like a pow, I really just make money, because I'm still sorting that out. But I remember making a vision board, and the three things on my three sort of statements was that I've released music, I have made money from music, and I'm using social media in order, to promote it. And, all those things I have ticked off. And that's super exciting.
And I think that's so important. If you have a vision for your life or a dream for your life and it's not happening, recognizing that there's a subconscious reason why it's not happening. And then when we dive into, and we have a very specific methodology by which we we dive into the subconscious. Like Lois said, there were lots of tears and there was a lot of questions, and you get to the core of what's the essence of what the underlying thought is in the subconscious. And for you and for a lot of people, especially women, when it comes to money, it's being worthy of earning money for something that you love. It's like we have ingrained in us over generation after generation after generation, which is really over millennia, that we shouldn't earn money for doing all the things that we do, because none of the generations before did. And it's a very powerful story that we tell ourselves, and women have to break that story in particular, because we're not used to coming from generation after generation of being paid to do the work that they love. But then there's this other side of it, is like, I'm in a field, like a music field or an art field, or I'm in an industry where not everyone does make money or good money doing this. And so then it's like, so it's hard to make money in this industry. And so there's a lot of other stories we tell ourselves in terms of what we can and can't make, and what's possible and what's not possible based on what other people are saying and doing. And really, it's getting very clear, having a very, very clear vision, and getting a very clear narrative, and understanding how that narrative impacts the subconscious level, impacts you on the subconscious level. So let's go through the 3 things that you put on your vision board, because this is so cool. All right. So the first one, what was the first one?
That I released my work.
Okay, and you've done that, so we want to celebrate that. It's called Sepia, is that right? Or
Sepia.
Sepia.
Yeah. So,
and it's SEPIA, and you can get it on Spotify. You can get it on
Bandcamp is a great one to buy it from, but iTunes and Amazon and YouTube and and Spotify. Also, if anyone's wanting to use it in their lovely social media, Instagram, Facebook, Reels, you can find it in there and use it there also.
Oh, I love it. That's great. So we can all use it in our Reels. That's brilliant. Okay, so we'll link to all that information in the show notes so that people can go find them. And then what was the second thing on your vision?
That I've got it down here. Yeah, I make money from music.
Okay, so what happened there? Because you weren't making money initially.
No.
What were you doing? Do you remember?
I had just, when I joined TechPixies, I think I'd just given up my science job. And so I literally wasn't earning my own money. And then through Brain Crime, the Money Mindset Workshop, it was like you come up with a list of ideas of what you could do, and piano lessons came out of that. And so I've kind of got 8 wonderful pupils now that kind of, I'm really enjoying teaching.
Yeah, and if I remember, you were working in a hotel at the time. Are you still doing that?
No, I'm not doing that anymore because I don't need to.
Okay, but this is so important. This part of the story is so important, because, and this is why we forget how far we've come.
Yeah.
So you had, when you came to TechPixies, you weren't earning, but then you got a job part-time in a hotel. But then you put on your list of things you'd love to do is to get paid teaching piano lessons.
Yeah.
And now you've built up 8 pupils and have been able to let go of the hotel job.
Yeah.
That's
absolutely.
That is very powerful.
Yeah. So it's those steps. And I think it's having, you have the dream, you make the dream really clear, and then you can start to work towards that. And the whole process of being in TechPixies has been about the clarity that's come with the action that I've taken, but I've needed that framework in order to do that. So forever grateful.
And what's the third one?
So that I'm using social media as part of my creative practice and as a tool to market my work. And before that, super scared of being online, and it just didn't feel comfortable whatsoever. But I've kind of managed to separate me from me as a brand.
Mm-hmm.
I kind of see those as quite separate things
you as
now,
the person and you as the brand.
So it's about the work, it's about the creativity, and that's really helped. But also just having, again, that community of people willing to offer support, and seeing other people take action online on their socials, being really uncomfortable, but doing it anyway. That's been really huge. Yeah.
Well, and it was so much fun because I follow a lot of our tech pixies. Obviously, if they follow us, I follow them back, and I know who they are. And all of a sudden, out of the blue, I started seeing regular posts by you
Yeah.
playing piano in open spaces as well. Like,
Yeah.
I saw that one, I was like, whoa, this is definitely working for her, because I know that wouldn't have been something you'd do before. And yet now here you are in a public location playing music.
Yeah. So yeah, these public pianos that have come up have been really great for me in many different ways, because it's practice playing in front of people, but no one's really there to see you. So it's been really good for my to build up my confidence in playing out with my living room. But also it's really great content as well. People really like that. So yeah, it's like twofold.
No,
But yeah, I've kind of come up with a bit of a system to get posts out. And again, that's really depersonalized it, all the different types of posting you can do. So
well,
yeah.
tell us about your system.
Okay, so I use sort of three pillars in weekly posts. And the first one is sort of audience connection, so asking questions, sharing really nice imagery. The second one is inspiration. So these are the things that inspire me, what inspires you, and yeah, again, just using either me at the piano or some beautiful scenes. And the third one is sort of call to actions. You can find me on here's my mailing list. Join up if you want to hear more type stuff, and or here's my album that I released. You can go and listen to it here. So yeah, it feels nice to have a system, because then you can just go on with actually producing the work.
So one of them is community connection, one of them's inspiration, and one of them's call to action.
Yeah.
Yeah, and you do those three things, and it makes a big difference.
Yeah, huge. Yeah,
huge. And you're doing all three things. So now the question, of course, inevitably is, if the three things you wanted to achieve in August of last year when you joined, you've now achieved. And by August, we mean 22. You joined in August of 22.
Yeah.
So it's been a year.
Yeah, year past. Yeah.
So what's next? What's on the new vision board for you?
Yeah, so it's actually something I want to sit down and do properly, because I haven't done that yet, because literally just in the last few weeks I've released the music. But what I want to do is sit down and make my vision super clear, super specific, and yeah, take it from there. But just knowing where I started and where you can get to by taking that action. And the thing about having a vision, having a dream, writing it down, is things get really clear really quickly. So kind of you can find your way through the fog, because every decision you make, you're kind of referring back to that vision. So like mentally, emotionally, that's really helped me stay on course. And that's something I learned here as well.
And the great thing about that is it's a system that you can repeat again and again and again. It's a process you can go through again and again and again.
Yeah, and I think when that happens, you get faster and better at doing it as well. So I'm really excited to try it for the second time round and see what the results will be then.
Well, exactly. And then and the good news is you also have evidence that doing that process the first time worked, and therefore it'll work again.
And that's the thing. It's evident. I've got a science background, so it's like all about the evidence, and that's the first kind of I really enjoyed this system because it works for my brain.
But it works for everybody's brain. That's the cool
exactly
thing.
Yeah,
it's like once you've got brain-based evidence, you don't need anything else, because you've got the evidence that's there. And I always say to people, if someone's doing something, or if you want to do something that you've never done before and there's no evidence of it, then you have to look outside and you have to say, well, there was no evidence that there would ever be a Black president of the United States until Obama, right? Someone's got to break the mold. Someone's got to be the person, And so I think it's this idea that we look for the evidence that in our life that says that it's possible that we can do this. And if we can't find it, then we look for evidence that it's happened for other people, that they've broken the mold, that they've done those things. And it gives us inspiration. That's why, J.K. Rowling's story is so inspiring to so many people, because she was a single mom on food stamps And she's now built a book empire, movie empire that's worth billions. And it's this idea that if someone else can do it, I can do it too. And
Mhm.
I think that very much in the Tech Pixie community, that's what it's all about. You know, you've seen other people come through the Tech Pixie community and get results, and then you've gone and gotten those results yourself. And you can anchor yourself on someone else's results because we live in a community, or at least we, you know, in our community, when we celebrate other people's successes because we're opening up the opportunity for that success to come to us as well. So I'm super proud of you, and I'm very excited to promote Sepia and make sure that people get a chance to hear it and be blessed by it. I absolutely love listening to it, and I have two goddaughters who are just absolutely precious. And I sent it to their dad saying, you know, because they both love dancing and ballet, and I thought, you know, they could probably choreograph something really beautiful to see.
That's lovely. Thank you so much.
Thank you for that gift. So this journey of vision, you know, it's a vision casting and then taking the steps you need to take in order to move that forward. You know, you've been doing that process and you're going to do it again for the next level, which is so cool. And you're going to get even more clarity on what you want to do next. Because you've done the Dream Builder program and the social media management certification program, what would you say, apart from creating a vision and then taking action steps towards that vision, is there anything else that had a big impact on you from either one of those programs?
I think, you know, you really have the choice whether you live your life by design or by default. That concept was new to me, and you know, you really do have choices no matter where, you know, no matter what you have. I've got, for my whole album, it was or the EP, it was self recorded with minimal equipment, and so I used what I had with where I was, you know, that
Yeah, do what you can with what you have with where you're at.
yeah, so it's very much come from that place. So yeah, no matter where you are, there are steps to take to kind of work towards where you want to be.
Yeah, that's great, and that's a huge takeaway. I think that one sentence, "Do what you can with what you have with where you're at," I think is such a foundational place for anyone, no matter where they are, even if they're, you know, at the very bottom, just starting their way up. It's go, okay, do what I can with what I have with where I'm at. What can I do? And it's not asking why am I in this situation or how did I get here or how do I get myself out of it or, you know, why can't I get myself out of it? It's actually look around you. What can I do with what I have with where I'm at? And it's really that key question. Oh, awesome. Well, Lois, I'm very grateful to you for coming on to the podcast, and we will be sharing your music. Any other comments or thoughts you want to leave with the audience?
Just thank you so much to yourself and the community. I want a special shout out to Julie and Louise, who are in my cohort for Dream Builders. They've been a huge help to me and support. And yeah, so no, thank you, just everybody.
Yeah, a poet
And
and a
do,
fellow musician.
yeah, absolutely. And yeah, please, yeah, I look forward to hearing any feedback anyone's got about the music. I love to hear what people hear in it as well. I find that really exciting.
I love that. And if someone wanted to send you their comments and their feedback about your music, where would they do that?
You probably, if you find my Instagram, which is at Lois Lelland, just send me a DM. That's probably the easiest place to find me.
All right. Brilliant. Oh, thank you so much, Lois. I really appreciate it.
Thank you so much.
All right. Well, there you have it. There is someone who had a dream, pursued her dream, achieved her dream, and is now planning her next one. And of course, if that's you and you want to realize a dream you've had for a long time, this was a dream she had for a very long time. If you'd like to realize a dream that you've had for a long time, then you're going to want to really seriously think about joining our Dream Builder program. We always run vision workshops on a regular basis. I would say at least once a month, if not every other month. So if you go to techpixies.com/vision workshop, you'll find out when the next one is. And then you'll be able to join our next vision workshop. We have Dream Builder cohorts that start on a regular basis. Today is the 13th of December, 2023. We've got a Dream Builder cohort starting today, and we have one starting right in the new year as well. And it's a great way to explore your dream, get real clarity on your dream. And what we found is once people know what their dream is, then they can lean into things like social media. It's very hard to put yourself out there on social media if you don't really have clarity on what you're doing it for. And so we find that Dream Builder and the social media management certification programs work really, really well together. So if you have any questions about any of the programs that we run, or you want to know more about how TechPixies can help you to get clarity on your dream and move forward, feel free to contact us at support@techpixies.com. You can find out all about the programs that we run at techpixies.com as well. And please do check out Sepia. We will link to it in the show notes. Super grateful to you for giving us your time and your space today by listening to the podcast or watching it. Have a great day wherever you are, and happy holidays. Whether you're going into them or coming out of them, I hope you have a wonderful time and get to cherish the time that you have with your friends and family. All my love.